What's going on? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. Last week we looked at the best moments for Apple in 2017, and this week it's going to be about their worst ones. Now, warning, if you're the type of person who gets motion sickness, shortness of breath, or diarrhea when any single negative thing is said about Apple, don't watch this. Now, I know you're out there because I read the comments. All right, let's get to what had to be the biggest loser for Apple in 2017. iOS 11. iOS was plagued by bug after bug, week after week, with one fix after another, and these weren't small ones we couldn't see. I know mistakes are made, we get that, but this was a whole nother level. Now, it started with the letter I bug, the most front-facing bug that changed the letter I into a letter A with a symbol in a box, and everyone could see it on Twitter, on Facebook, really everywhere. So Apple fixed that with iOS 11.1, but that had the crack Wi-Fi vulnerability that could give access to your files from anyone. Then that was patched with iOS 11 1.1, which then brought us the it and is bug that auto-corrected some users to the words I.T and I.S, which was quickly fixed with 11.1.2 that also fixed the cold weather bug where iPhone 10s would become unresponsive in cold weather. Then came iOS 11.2. That would bring Apple Pay Cash, but that switch wasn't flipped on. Instead, iOS 11.2 was rolled out early to prevent a looping bug associated with December the 2nd. Okay, so they finally turned on Apple Pay Cash a few days later, and then a new zero-day bug, iOS HomeKit vulnerability, was discovered that would allow remote access to smart accessories like your door locks. It was plain embarrassing, and who knows what else might show up by the time you see this, but it's been that kind of a year for iOS 11, and it's the sloppiest and buggiest iOS we've ever seen. You could see why it was a loser, and it was a bad Apple.
Oh, hell no!
All right, another low moment for Apple, the delay of the HomePod to early 2018. And yes, I want them to make sure they get this product right, but they're already a distant third in the voice assistant speakers, and that gap has only grown after the holiday season with deep discounts on Amazon's Echo and Google Home platform. Now, if there was a time to be part of the smart home push, it was this year, and Apple, dude, they completely missed it. On top of that, everything we know about the HomePod doesn't tell us that we need to have it. It's compatible with fewer smart home products. There are no skills or abilities. Siri has grown up, but it's not as smart as Alexa or the Google Assistant. And it looks like it will only support Apple Music natively on launch. So it comes down to it, its biggest differentiator will be its sound quality for $349. And I never underestimate the power of the Apple fanatics, but I've had an Echo and Google Home since day one, and 3+ years later, Apple still hasn't given me a reason to change that. Okay, are y'all still with me, or is this just too painful right now? Apple Byte Nation, here's a hug to make you feel better, okay? Bring it in.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I needed that.
Me too!
See, I know you feel good. Next up, the iMac Pro. It's out now, and Apple delivered on their December timetable. Nothing is really wrong with the product itself. It's a beast. But I'm pointing a finger directly at Apple's leadership, this one. This is the grand vision that they had for the professional desktop of the future for Mac users. A beefed up iMac, not a modular tower that allows professionals to customize it on the fly with graphics cards, sound cards, and memory. They turned their back on that group with the garbage can design Mac Pro, but then Apple didn't release a legitimate upgrade or really anything significant since December of 2013. And what do we get? An admission from Apple leadership in April of this year that they are completely rethinking the Mac Pro. And it will launch sometime beyond 2017. Like, when exactly is that? Who knows? I'm happy they realize this now, but they alienated their creatives, the people that put them on the map without anything for over 3 years plus. Now, that's light years in the tech world, and the iMac Pro is a result of their misguided vision of what professionals really want. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but starting at $4,999, I don't think so. So, what did I miss, everybody? Oh, hold on. Don't let me forget about the notch on the iPhone 10. Not the iPhone 10 as a whole, but specifically the notch. I won't get over it because I'm not going to settle. Like, Samsung even went in for the jugular and made a TV ad about it. But Apple Byte Nation, you know how I feel. I don't like it at all. All right, so what were your biggest losers from Apple in 2017? Would you put Animojis on that list? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. And you notice I didn't put the iPhone 10 on either the winners or the losers list. I think it's one of the most interesting things that Apple has released in recent years. I enjoy it, and it's also kind of frustrating at the same time, but it isn't an outright success or failure, and everyone has differing opinions about it. Guess what? That's what makes this all fun for all of us who love tech. And if you're angry right now, just watch our best moments for Apple of 2017.
Yeah!
Okay, that's going to do it for this week's show. We've got more coming for you to keep you warm during the break. Email us at theapplebite@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you all next time for another Bite of the Apple.